Hello, and good morning, or maybe it's evening where you are. So I wanted to thank everybody who watches this video while I am presenting it, and also when you're watching it on YouTube. So today is a class, and in all the classes I want to say that we do something for each part of the body, and practicing is about our intention and where our intention is. So even though a class is directed towards a specific area of the body, let's say, it gives us something to focus on during our practice. So yesterday's practice was about grounding and foundation and things like that. This morning's practice is about centering and creating yourself by moving from the core, inside to the outside. And each time we get a specific area to focus on, it lets our mind go and be with our body instead of being external. So I really hope that these awarenesses come through, that we want to really be aware of our core. Today is about our core, our lower back, and I was thinking when I wrote this down that, animals move from the center out, and they move from the spine outward. When you think about your spine has all these nerve endings, and a nerve in your spine helps you move your little pinky finger, right? Little pinky finger. It helps you wiggle your nose. There are all these things that the spine does, and the spine moves through something I was reading about called the Sacral Plexus. We have different plexuses in our body, and what they are is they're groupings of nerves that affect different areas, and it's called the Sacral Plexus. Also, this area of the body is about the third chakra, and about the second chakra also, I believe. So, thinking of all these things as we practice, you don't want to think about too many, but you want to have a center of awareness to bring yourself to, again, so your mind is not moving away from the body to external forces. It's kind of like when we're balancing, when we're doing a tree pose. When you're doing a tree pose, we stare at a point outside of us, and as we become more internal and we close our eyes, it does become more challenging, but that's our ultimate goal when we're balancing. And sometimes I'll have people close the eyes with a standing pose, and you want to center on the core. So again, today's practice is a lot about the core, and I see a few people on. So I want to say good morning to everybody, and today I'm going to be working, when I do get off this class, I'm going to be working on some Zoom. So the Zoom, eventually, hopefully I'll be doing Zoom next week, so you can sign into that. I'll figure that out this week. It's a lot of technical stuff, but definitely the Zooms are very easily made to go onto YouTube. So I haven't quite figured that out yet, but I will have that done by the end of today, and I will let you all know. So let's get started. And I want to welcome everybody. I see 4 of my students online, so hi everybody. And I have one more painting to hang up this morning to complete my, there we go. So come to a comfortable seated position, and I have something I want to read this morning. It's from my teacher, Reverend Jaganath's book, The Core Teachings Inside Patanjali's Words, which is part of the Yoga Sutras. And the page I opened to is about happiness. And he starts it off, and I can say this too. My guru, Swami Satchidananda, who's my guru, often said that the ultimate goal of life is to have fun, I always say that, and to be happy. And once, when he was asked about the nature of God, he replied, God is Mr. and Mrs. Happy. Consciously or unconsciously, everything we do has one and the same motive, to be happy. And when we are happy, it feels right and natural. We never complain that we've been too happy for too long. It's the opposite. If we are unhappy for even a short time, we know that something is wrong. So I'm going to skip to, we know about the external happiness. The external happiness is, say maybe this new cell phone makes me happy. It's not new. It's probably about 5 years old. Whatever it is. So the other source of happiness is stable. It is within, and it is an instinct to our nature. It is an underground river of joy that flows regardless of our state of mind and external circumstances. The source of happiness is deeper, more stable, and fulfilling. Because it has these desirable qualities, it is often referred to as joy or bliss. So that's enough for today. So I want to thank Reverend Jaganath for those beautiful words today. And we're going to get started. So close your eyes and sit up comfortable and watch your inhalation and your exhalation. And start to relax the abdomen on your inhales and contract on your exhalations. You can cultivate your 3-part breath if that's available to you. Breathing fully and deeply. Shoulders are back and down. And again, we're working through the core, the second and third chakra. I'm going to include the second one today. So tucking the navel center, drawing it back, lifting the pelvic floor gently at the end of the exhales. And then inhale, letting the body relax. Letting the abdomen relax on inhale, letting the diaphragm relax on inhale. Shoulders relax, back and down, heart lifts. Feel your sit bones ground, feel the foundation of your pose. And at the end of the next full exhale, stay connected to your breath and circle your hips. Move slowly and mindfully. Back a little. Circle the opposite direction. Stay connected to your breath. And come on to center. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down. So really draw those shoulders up, back, and down. Keep the chin parallel to the floor. Try to keep the arms away from the body so you have space. You create space in the rotator cuff. And then circle forward and down both arms. Nice full deep breaths. Make sure you're breathing fully and deeply. That's what makes it yoga. Exercise people grunt and groan. And as we stay mindful and move with our breath, we create a meditative quality in our breath. And come on to center. Interlace your fingers, press the palms towards the ceiling. Exhale, hinge to your left. Stay there and breathe. Try to lift the rib cage so you can create more space, lifting your diaphragm as you do this. Breathe. Try to relax the shoulders and press the knees down. This is good for the core. Feel the movement through the abdominal walls. Breathe. Press through the heels of the hands. Lift the rib cage. So feel that lift right through the ribs, extending your psoas muscle, your core muscle. Come through center. Hinge to the right. Nice deep breaths. Breathing fully and deeply. Sit deep into your sit bones. Press your knees down so you feel your core doing the work. When you relax your shoulders, especially after all the breathing we started with, starting with the breathing is crucial and important. So always make sure you start with breathing, even if you come in a little late. Inhale through center. Slowly lower the arms halfway. Turn the palms up. You're going to keep long through the core, relax the shoulders, but extend out through your arms. I like to keep my fingers together and thumbs wide. And we're going to gently turn to the right, but take your shoulder blades back. You don't want to bring the arm forward. Shoulder blades back. Keep the hips square. Breathe, strengthening the oblique muscles in the core. Starting right off with the core today. Tuck the tummy with your exhales. And inhale, come on through center. We're going to take it to the opposite side. Breathe, turning left, drop your shoulders. Draw your shoulders back and down. Nice deep breaths. Extend the arms out away from the rotator cuff. Please relax your shoulders and reach through your fingers. Head is centered. Breathe, sit tall. Keep the hips square and grounded. Inhale, come on through center. Bring your palms to your heart. Close your eyes, watch your breath. So another movement we're going to do for the core, you might feel it's for the upper body, but it's going to actually lift our rib cage. You're going to reach your left arm up and take the arm behind you. And you're going to take your right hand to the elbow. Now, if you can't do this, you're just going to place the hand on the tricep muscle, okay? And you're going to hinge over to the right. Now lift up out of the pose, right? We're lengthening through the core. We're lengthening our spine. Remember in the beginning of this, I talked about how important the spinal column is to move any part of the body, even the little pinky finger. So breathe, press the knees down, push away at the floor and lift, but relax the shoulders. Draw the elbows back. I'm hugging my shoulder blades together. It's actually opening this area through the rib cage. Third chakra. Inhale, come on up. Nice deep breaths. Take down the right hand. Hold the elbow, or again, if you're not able to, just push the arm back gently. Or if you can't reach the back, you can put your hand on the back of your head, but eventually you want the elbow up and back. And let's hinge to the left. And again, don't just hinge down. Lift up, breathe. Feel a gentle stretch. Pressing down your right knee as you lean to the left. Breathe, sit back into your sit bones. Remember, I always say never strain, only do what's comfortable and safe movement. And inhale, come on through center, reach both arms up. Take both hands behind you, interlace your fingers, draw the knuckles down your back, and you're going to gently forward hinge. Now, if you can reach your arms up towards the ceiling, make sure you're tucking your tummy back, pressing those sit bones back. Don't let your sit bones come off your pillow or your blanket. Breathe, take the shoulders back, then release the arms and slowly come on up. Good. You're going to take a big turn to the right. Look over your right shoulder. Nice deep breaths. And opening your heart. Breathe deep. Come back through center slowly with an inhalation. And turn to the opposite side, turning left. Nice deep breaths. Breathe. Keep tucking the tummy back. And inhale, come on through center. So you're going to take the arms across the chest. We're going to do some more movements for the waist and the core. So you want to think of a long spine, right? Your spine is long. You don't want to compress it and sit curled. You can come off anything you're sitting on right now if that suits you. I'm going to come off those pillows. And I'm going to lean back a little bit. So, just so you can see me better, I'm just going to take this mat, top of this, because I have darker pants on. So it's always interesting to see how the colors go in the morning. You know I'm all about the colors, right? All about the colors. So hopefully you can see me better that way. So we're going to take the hands across the chest, and it's a lateral hinge from the side. Right? We don't want to round the back. We want to sit tall. And our head is center. We're going to hinge to the right. Inhale through center. Exhale, hinge left. Now you're gently squeezing the muscles at the waist. Nice full deep breaths. Keeping the spine long, feeling like you're lifting up and over, right? So keep going at your own pace. Up and over. Not just collapsing down. I want to lift up and over. Feel the obliques strengthen and feel them support. They're supporting your spine. That's what this class is about. Feeling yourself from the inside out. And come on through center. Take your hands behind you again. Draw the knuckles. I'm interlacing my fingers. Draw the knuckles down. Press the knuckles onto the floor and lift your heart. Now breathe deep into the abdomen, rib cage, upper chest. Feel the front body start to open. Nice deep breaths. Keep your chin tucked. Don't let your chin draw back. My hands are on the floor actually. And release. So from here, we're going to come on to all fours. And if you have a block this morning for cat and cow, we're going to use the block. So come on to all fours. And remember, always think of keeping the spine long, nice and long. So spread the palms, block between the thighs. Take a block, put it between the thighs. And you're going to exhale round. Hollow the navel with your exhales. Inhale, drop abdomen, rib cage, upper chest. Exhale, lift the lower, middle, and upper back. Tuck the tummy. Breathe deeply. And inhale, drop the abdomen, rib cage, upper chest. Gaze up, shoulders back. Exhale as you round. Keep pressing the tops of the feet. And most importantly, be aware that you're gently hugging the thighs. Notice how you use your core as you do that. It's really pretty cool to know that your psoas muscle, which starts here inside by the inner thighs, it moves back. It comes up through the back and it attaches at your 12th rib. So this is the muscle that connects your torso to your legs. It's the muscle that helps you walk. It's the largest hip flexor we have. So by doing cat and cow slowly and with awareness, and not just rounding the back and dropping the hips, and we're moving slow with awareness. That's the true yoga, being aware. So come to center. We're going to curl our toes. So this is a fun one for the core. We're going to come up on the toes, on the knees rather, and we're going to reach both arms out, lengthening. Keep lengthening, squeezing the block, tuck the tummy, relax your shoulders. Feel your core start to engage, and come on down. So now you're going to keep the block between your thighs. So I always love teaching this practice because, it's very interesting, and I've seen it in some exercise books, which I think is kind of interesting and cool. It's about the biodynamics of your body. So I'm trying to face you a little bit. So we're going to keep the hips above the knees. You don't want the hips to come forward. Hips are above the knees. And you're going to raise your right arm up, squeeze the block, but try not to put all the weight. You're raising your left arm up. Try not to put all the weight in your left knee. Try to press the right knee down. Breathe, press the tops of those feet down. Make sure they're pressing, reaching. Start to feel your core engage. Breathe, smile. Okay, good. And release. Now, realign your hands. Make sure your hands aren't too far forward. You want your hands under your shoulders, but you want to be able to draw the shoulders back. So now you're going to tuck the tummy and extend out through your right arm. So nice deep breaths. And now you're going to feel all the weight in the right knee. See if you can start to press that left knee and the top of the left foot down. You'll feel the movement coming from your lower abdomen and your psoas muscle. It's not an easy task, but it's really good for strengthening and aligning. And release. So from here, we're going to stay on all fours or keep the block between your thighs to come to a downward dog. So if you'd like to do downward dog, hug the block. Now I want you to keep hugging the block as you lift the sit bones. Breathing, nice deep breaths. And if you're on all fours, please keep hugging your block. I'm going to bend my knees and extend through my arms so I start to lengthen my spine. Shoulders are back and down, and my palms press. I'm pressing the base of the fingers and the tips of the fingers. And then I'm going to come down onto my knees, remove the block, and everybody, let's take a child's pose. Nice full deep breaths. Opening through the heart. Shoulders are back and down, but extend those arms. And come on to all fours. So we're going to come on to our forearms now. Now, if you'd like to, you can place a block under your pubic bone, and I will show you how. So the block will go this direction, not up and down. It'll go from right to left. So when I say block right to left, this is what I mean, right to left. So the block's going to be right to left. And I've done this in my classes a lot. It's really kind of fun. And it gives you a good idea of how strong your core is. So we're going to come on to our forearms. I'm going to roll my sleeves up this morning. Come on to my forearms, and I'm going to lay my pubic bone right on the block. Now my knees are down and my feet are curled. So I want to use my core and my forearms. Now make sure your shoulders are not doing this. You roll them back. Now press down into the forearms and lift the knees. Now all the weight is in your toes, your pubic bone, and your forearms. You have the weight distributed evenly. Now press through the legs and lift. You can still feel the block about 1/3 of an inch underneath your pubic bone. Now push through those heels. Tuck the tummy and breathe. If you need to come out of the pose before I give the signal, please do so. Let's all rest the pubic bone back on the block. Uncurl the toes. And take a moment. Make sure you're still rolling your shoulders back. So we're going to do that again. Stay with your smooth breath. Make sure you're not holding your breath. Some of you are just holding your breath, I think. So curl your toes. I get energetic information about this, so just do only what is comfortable. So press through the palms. If you don't have a block, you can put a pillow under you for now. But you want to really use the legs. So press through the heels, push through the arms, and lift through the core. Lift off the block. I'm only about maybe a ½ an inch off the block. I can still feel it a little bit if I go down. And now press through the palms and lift. And inhale, come back to the block, or you can just stay there. And you're going to inhale, exhale, lift, push the sit bones back, and inhale, come on back onto the block, or you can hover over the block with really strong extended legs. Let's all rest back on the block now. Uncurl the toes, walk your hands back, and push yourself up onto all fours. So we're going to take a little bit of a cat and a cow. Move slowly and mindfully. I like to move slower with my instructions than a lot of teachers. I've been noticing different things on classes. Some teachers move very mindfully and slowly, and others move rather quickly. So I choose to move slower. So you have a chance to get into the pose, understand what is said, and feel. I mean, if you're not in a pose long enough, how are you going to feel anything? So from here, we're going to do one more movement on the floor for the core. I want you to start the movement when your breath begins, and I'd like you to finish the movement when the breath ends. Okay? And we do this practice all the time. You're not going to need your block right now. So, onto all fours. This is Chakra Vakasana. You're going to take back your right leg. Come forward a little. And I always say this to my students. Make sure when you come back, look at my arms. My arms are at an angle. I'm not doing this. Do you see all the tension in my shoulders and neck? So inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee towards the nose. Inhale, lengthen, engage the glutes and hamstring. Now you're feeling this hip flexor as you bring the knee forward. That's the muscle that's connecting to bring your knee towards your nose. You're moving slowly and mindfully. You're feeling your body. There's definitely a connection. Raise it up. Keep the glute engaged. Nice deep breaths. And release. Take the left leg back. Exhale, knee to the nose. Look how I'm pushing my arms back. Shoulders are relaxed. I'm using the strength of my hip flexor to get my knee upward. So, up, up, up. So use that muscle. Feel like the muscle's contracting to bring the knee upward. Feel the engagement of the muscle before you extend. You'll find it at the end of that exhale when you're tucking your tummy and lifting your pelvic floor so mindfully. And release. Take your knees wide. If you have knee issues, just stay on all fours. Nice deep breaths. Listen to your body. Do only what is comfortable. And slowly walk yourself up. Now we're going to come up to standing. If you would like to do a downward dog, we're going to do that now. So if you're going to come up to standing, slowly take your time coming up, standing at the front of your mat. For those of you who would like to do downward dog, I'm going to curl the toes, spread the palms, And I'm going to lift through my core. So I lift the core up to lift me up. I feel like there's an imaginary block between my thighs. I keep feeling like I'm going to roll that block back towards the back body. Bending the knees, lifting the sit bones for this downward dog. Find that slow, smooth breath. Tuck your tummy to draw the tailbone away from the belly button. And then gently walk the feet forward. Keep the knees slightly bent, hanging into a forward bend. And this time we're going to roll up. When you roll up, let one vertebra at a time come on up. So you're using your core. So I'm going to adjust the camera. Hello. So I'm going to I adjusted the camera. We're going to come to standing. And we're going to do movements that give us balance and they help us move from our core. So feet parallel, feet hip distance is the criteria by which I as a yoga therapist teach. So I'm going to step my right foot forward. My front knee is always 90 degrees. I want to avoid, see how the knee is forward? We always want to avoid that because that means there's no strength and control and you could move forward or put too much weight into the knee joint. We want to be secure in our muscles. So that's a really important thing to note in your body since I'm not there to see you. And another thing, sometimes people's knees just splay out to the side. So we want to make sure the knee stays inward, in line with the hip inward. So you want to take the knee towards the pinky toe. Reach both arms up as you inhale. Breathing. Find your warrior one. Virabhadrasana. Now, with the breath, I'm going to show you from the side angle. We're going to inhale up. We're going to keep the hips back. Exhale as you come forward. Arms are alongside my body, reaching back. I feel my hip flexor, and I avoid collapsing because I'm using my core. Inhale up. Shoulders back. Exhale, forward hinge. Plant through the heel. Make sure the knee does not move forward like I just showed you. Knee stays in alignment. Keep going, everybody. Begin the movement when your breath begins. Finish the movement when your breath ends. This is not an exercise class. It's a mindful yoga therapy class. A structural yoga awareness. Breathe. Shoulders are relaxed, fingers together, thumbs wide, and your arms are straight. Keep planting through that back heel. If you've lost the presence of the back heel, feel the foundation in both feet evenly. And inhale, come on back up to the center. Right foot is still forward. And we're going to take a turn to the right. Take the left hand down and around. Breathe. And we're going to make this a dynamic movement today, folks. We're going to inhale through center mindfully. Exhale, slowly turning with awareness. Feet are grounded. Extend through the back heel. Keep the back leg straight. I'm instructing you, so I'm not working with my breath, but you should be exhaling as you turn. And then begin the inhale, coming back to the center. Keep going for a few more movements. And inhale, come on back through the center. Take your hands to your hips. And you're going to straighten the front leg. So as we straighten the front leg, where am I here? Here we go. We're going to hinge forward over the front leg. Nice deep breaths. And lift up out of the pose. Don't collapse into the pose. Inhale, come on up. You're going to just gently float the back foot to the calf. Nice deep breaths. Open the heart, reach both arms up. And if it's windy, you can be a swaying tree pose today. So feel like you're moving from your core, right? You're balanced, but you're moving from your core. And then bring the tree back to center because the wind has stopped. Make sure the left knee is out to the left. And don't hinge the hip, stand tall into the leg. Breathe. And if you'd like to today, this is up to you. You can drop the left hand, take hold of the top of the left foot, and you're going to press it back into dancer pose. So I'll show you from the side. Breathing. Make sure you're pressing that front hip forward. You don't want to bring the knee forward. So watch as I press the hip forward. Breathe. Nice deep breaths. Push the foot into the arm and release when you're ready. Palms to the heart. Close the eyes. Watch your breath. And we'll do the second side. So as you may have noticed, balance is a large part of feeling through the core. So we want to really feel even the inner thighs hugging and things like that as you're trying to balance, lifting your pelvic floor. So let's take the right foot forward. Breathe. Nice deep breaths. Sweep both arms up. And let me make a correction. Let's bring the left foot forward. My mistake. Right foot back. Thank you for whoever psychically told me we did that side already. I think I know who it is. So nice deep breaths in Warrior One. And again, we're going to inhale, exhale forward, reach. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, and keep the hips back. Notice I'm not leaning forward. I'm keeping my hips right where they are, even taking the hips back a little, keeping the knee in alignment. Nice deep breaths. Keep going at your own pace. Start the movement when you start your breath. Inhale. Finish the movement when you finish the inhale, and the same with the exhale. So nice deep breaths. And come on up to center. Take a turn. Breathe. Nice deep breaths. Inhale through center. Exhale, turning. Inhale. And inhale, come on back to center. So take your feet hip distance. We're going to do that one more time, because as I'm through the pose, I realized I was right the first time. So welcome to my class. So I'm trying to teach backwards at the same time. So that's challenging this morning. So I'm sorry, the left foot is forward. We're going to reach back. So you got extra movement on the right this morning. Maybe we needed it. Inhale up. Exhale. And like real life, I'm going to keep going. Exhale. So if you were doing the correct side, perfect. If not, and you were following me, we've got the left foot forward. Nice deep breaths. Tuck the tummy, lift the pelvic floor. And And inhale, come on up. And we're going to take a turn to the left. Take the left hand down and around, looking over the left shoulder. Then we're going to come back through the center. Keep the hips square, feet planted, and slowly turn. So trying to slowly turn into these postures instead of just whipping around and using your momentum. You're controlling through the core. Your feet are grounded. You're very secure in your second and third chakra, even your first. Breathe. But we're mainly focused on chakra 2. Chakra 3 is the Manipura chakra. And inhale, come on through center. Straighten the front leg and just hinge forward over the front leg. Nice deep breaths. Arms are extended. This also works your core when your arms are extended. Now, if your shoulders hurt, bring your hands to your hips. But elbows back and shoulders back. Nice deep breaths. And inhale, come on up. You can reach the arms for the sky and take the sole of the right foot to the calf. Breathing deeply and fully. And again, if it's windy out, you've got a swaying tree pose. So feel yourself move from your core. Good. And then come back to center, taking the right knee out. Breathe. Nice deep breaths. Foot to the calf, never to the knee. You don't want to push the knee out. You want to stand tall into the pose. So feel the muscles of the left leg wrap around the bone. Feel the foot connected. And if you'd like, drop the left hand. Take hold of the top of the left foot and dancer pose. Breathe. Again, I'm pushing back through the foot into the hand. Nice deep breaths, and I'm bringing my hip forward. Breathe. I don't want to bring the knee forward. I want to press the hip forward. So I elongate the front body and slowly release. Palms to the heart. Have your eyes closed. Watch your breath. And open the eyes. So one pose I was doing myself the other day, and I thought of my students. I always think of you guys. I even think of some of the new people who said they've been wanting to come to these classes and time didn't allow. So, you know, things always work out the way they're supposed to. And that's where we find true happiness, when we can find equanimity. So the one pose I was thinking of doing, and it helps to really let you feel your core, is a standing cat and cow. So I'm going to demonstrate it. So since we are all standing, there's a bend to the knees, and I put my sit bones back. I want to avoid knees coming forward. Okay, so knees coming forward, we don't want to do that. We want the hips to move back in space, because then you feel your core. So my hands just rest on my thighs. And since the cat and cow moves the spine, you're going to slowly lift the lower, middle, and upper back. Tuck the tummy. Really press through the feet. Keep the knees slightly bent. And then inhale, drop the abdomen, rib cage, upper chest, shoulders back. Inhale deeply. Exhale, lifting lower, middle, and upper back. Press through the palms. Inhale, dropping abdomen, rib cage, upper chest, shoulders back. So nice full deep breaths. Shoulders are relaxed back and down. Really use those hip flexors to draw the hips back in space, keeping the knees in line with the ankles. Avoid forward knees. Feel how your spine undulates one vertebrae at a time. Nice full deep breaths. Head moves last in both positions, right? You're moving from the lower spine, the middle spine, and the upper spine. Nice full deep breaths. And from here, everybody, press through the palms. Press the palms onto the thighs, reach both arms up. Utkatasana, chair pose. Your feet are hip distance apart. Breathing. And avoid knees forward. You want to pull the sit bones back. Feel your legs work, but keep the heart high. Shoulders relaxed. Make sure your feet are parallel. Breathe. Press through the inner edges of the feet. Feel the inner thighs roll towards the back body. Feel those upper thighs, and then inhale, come on up. Sweep the arms around, bring the palms back to the heart, close your eyes and breathe. And take your time, everybody. Come on down to a seated position. We're going to do a few movements for the core on the mat today. So, how you all doing? Good. I hope you're doing well. So, some movements for the core. We traditionally do Navasana, which is the boat pose. I had a little girl once tell me it doesn't look like a boat. There was something else she thought looked more like a boat. So, one thing I'd like to do first is to open the front body a little bit more before we do this. So I'm going to combine these two movements, which is Navasana, which is feet up. You can hold behind your thighs if you'd like. Tuck your tummy, reach through the legs. Or you can alternate legs if you feel that two legs is too much for you at this point. So what I mean by that is come up with one leg. And what we're going to do is, I have a lot of dynamic movements for us today because I feel that we move slowly with the breath in the dynamic movement so that you can feel the muscles start to engage gently, and they know what you're doing. When you're moving too fast, sometimes they're behind you, like you're here and then you're into the next pose, but the muscles have not had a chance to get where they need to go. So I'm going to actually move this mat. Hands are behind you, fingers turn away. I see a lot of people do this. This actually locks and rolls the shoulder forward, so I don't really align with that movement myself. So shoulders are back, palms pressed, feet are close to your buttocks. So what we're going to do is we're going to slowly inhale, lift. Keep your chin tucked. This is reverse table. Make sure the knees are not splaying out. They're hip distance, just like the feet. And then exhale, come down, lift the legs. Inhale. Exhale, 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 exhale. Long exhales. Inhale. Move slowly with your breath. So you're getting both movements through the hip flexors. Here you're stretching them, stretching the front body and your core. Here you're contracting. So you're strengthening those muscles. Nice full deep breaths. Keep the chin tucked. Don't let the head rock back. And release. Good. Come to a comfortable cross-legged position just for a moment. And watch the breath slow. Take long exhales. and open your eyes. So I don't know where the time goes. It even goes quickly when we're in classes. So what we're going to do is our seated forward bends. When you're in those seated forward bends today, I really invite you and I encourage the fact that you're breathing, period, but the fact that on your exhalations, you're lifting the pelvic floor and tucking the tummy. As you're doing that in a seated forward bend, you're massaging your internal organs. You're strengthening those abdominal muscles, those deep abdominal muscles. So the external muscles are important, but once you start to be able to control and massage the internal organs, with the muscular movement of contracting and expanding, you're going to be able to digest food better. And not only that, you're going to assimilate the food better, which means that it's going to be, the nutrients are going to come into your body more readily and easily. Okay? And then elimination, of course, will be much easier. And elimination should be a regular process for people because you don't want toxins sitting in your body because then they start to release back into the body. So you want to keep things moving. So having said that, let's stretch out both legs. We are talking about the core and digestion, and most people know me that I teach a holistic style of yoga therapy and structural yoga. So we're going to bend our right knee. And again, I'm not going to use my hand. I'm going to see how far back I can bring the right knee using the strength of the muscles and then externally rotating it. Turn towards the extended leg. And today we're just going to lift the ribs. Feel like you're lifting up and over the extended leg. So turn your rib cage towards that leg, shoulders back, and gently forward hinge. Now, please, if you need to, sit up on your blanket or a bolster to lift your hips. If this is as far as you go, this might be a really good time to sit up on something. So let's forward hinge. We're going to take a few deep breaths. We're over the left leg, and we're massaging our stomach, spleen, pancreas. The left leg is flexed, the heel rather, so breathe deeply, and we're going to be here for a few moments. Relax your shoulders, press the back of the left leg into the mat, press the right knee down gently. I like to extend my left heel so that I'm taking the heel away from the body, which gives me space in the hip flexor region where the leg connects to the torso, which strengthens the muscles and releases the hip joints. Tuck the tummy, lift the pelvic floor with those exhales, everyone. Don't forget. Be mindful. Look forward, extend your arms this time. Rise up with the breath using the upper back muscles. And release. Take the right foot over the left. Notice I don't move my left leg. So the right foot is over the left. I don't want to let the knee drop out. I want to press through the right foot so I can sit up tall. And then I do lift my body up, hug the right knee with the left arm. And I'm going to turn to the right. Breathe. Keep extending through that leg that's on the mat. Breathe, which is your left leg is straight, right knee is bent. Still, this is a great place to lift through the pelvic floor. You'll really feel your lower belly, feel the muscles engage down towards even the pelvic region. And inhale, come on through center. Stretch both legs out, reach both arms up. Inhale, walk your sit bones back, forward hinge over both legs. Nice deep breaths. And again, sit up on something if you need it. Take your time, breathe. This is not a race. This is yoga. Mindful, slow practice. Awareness. Relax your shoulders, please. Press the backs of the calves into the mat and the heels also. And extend the arms alongside the ears. Press down through the legs and inhale, come on up. So that energy you're emitting through the legs helps to connect the core to the legs. So we're going to do the other side. So you're going to bend the left leg, take it over the right, hug the knee, sit up tall. And again, if you're too far back and your knee is in this position, the foot is farther back than the knee. You want your knee and foot aligned. You want to avoid that type of misalignment. So sit up tall, hug the left knee with your right arm and reach the left arm up. Take it behind you and roll the shoulders back. Nice deep breaths. Breathing fully and deeply. Again, press the heel of the right foot into the mat. Breathe deep. Take the arm behind you more if that feels good for you. You don't want it next to you. You want it behind you. Roll the shoulders back. And again, I always say I'm up on my fingertips. If I'm down here, I can't really, my palms are flat, I can't really move. Nice deep breaths. Feel the weight in your sit bones. Feel the weight in your left foot, the back of the right heel. Feel like they're very grounded so you can lengthen the core and relax your shoulders. And inhale, come on up. Nice full deep breaths. Stretch both legs out. Reach both arms up. Forward hinge. Relax your arms, head, neck, and chest, and breathe. We're going to slowly push ourselves up, bending the left knee. Take the left knee out to the side. And we're going to forward hinge over our right leg. Now, as you hinge over the right leg, I moved reverse on this side for different reasons. You're massaging your liver and gallbladder here. Nice deep breaths. Press down through the back of the leg. Shoulders are back and down. Breathe deep. Lift the pelvic floor. And extend the arms out. Inhale, come on all the way up. And release. Good. So let's bring the soles of the feet together before we settle down for Shavasana. And I hope you connect to your core today. Sit up tall and forward hinge. Nice deep breaths. Again, tucking your tummy and lifting the pelvic floor with exhalations. You're strengthening your pelvic floor, and that's what supports your bladder as we get older. Ladies that are on the view of this, please make sure that you start to feel your pelvic floor. It'll start to weaken as we get older. And inhale, come on all the way up. Good. So why doesn't everybody turn around, come onto their backs for Shavasana? We're going to settle in. Get nice and comfortable. Cover yourselves if you feel the need to. And let your breath go. Feel a wave of relaxation moving through your legs from the toes to the ankles. From the ankles to the knees, relax. From the knees to the thighs, soften. Feel your buttocks, hips, and pelvis release and relax. And your lower body is relaxed. Feel your fingers relax, palms and hands relax up to the wrist. And relax from the wrist to the elbows. From the elbows to the upper arms, soften. Feel the shoulders start to melt and relax back into the mat. Your hands can rest wherever you feel most comfortable, and your arms are completely relaxed. Feel a wave of relaxation moving through the lower abdomen and lower back, giving it a rest. Just letting everything release and just be right now. The rib cage and the middle back relax. Feel your diaphragm soften. This wave of relaxation moves into your upper chest, upper back, and shoulder blades. Feel the collarbone widen. And feel the shoulders relax even more. Your throat, neck, relax, and now your entire spine is relaxed from the tailbone to the base of the skull. Feel your jaw release. All your facial muscles relax. Feel your scalp relax over your skull, and now your entire being is completely and totally relaxed. Take the next few minutes to be the peace that you feel, to be the love that you are. Just be. Slowly and mindfully. Begin to deepen your breath slowly. Gently wiggle fingers and toes. Wiggle your arms and your legs gently, coming out of stillness. And give your body a big stretch or a big hug like you're waking up in the morning. When you're ready, hug your knees and roll to your right. And take a moment for gratitude as you rest on the right side. Notice what you notice. Feel from the inside out. And gently use two hands to push yourself to a seated position. And we're going to chant the sound of Om together once to end our practice today. Exhale fully. Inhale deeply as we chant the sound of the universe. I wish all of you peace, love, happiness, good health, and lots of fun. Namaste. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Welcome to my kitchen, and have an amazing day. So thank you for coming. If you have any questions, please message me, email me. My website link is on the information. And I'm going to be doing some Zoom things soon, so I'll let you all know about that tomorrow. Okay? Have a wonderful day. Mwah! I love you all. Thanks for coming. I see everybody's name. Bye.